Hey, hey, it's Dr. Meredith Watson, the unapologetic therapist, creator of the Phoenix Therapy Method. Today we're going to talk about the missing piece to many people's puzzle. Think about this. You're a people pleasing, doing it all for addiction, love, validation, acceptance for others, and that correlates directly to your emotional trauma, unresolved emotions, which directly correlates to your physical or emotional pain. Or you are a people pleasing, doing it all for love and validation, acceptance, belonging. You're an addict who's in pain. And at the root cause of it all is the pain is the direct correlation of the emotional pain, which is the direct result of the emotional pain caused from you seeking love and acceptance and validation and belonging and having that addiction, all of those things outside of yourself. And the addiction comes from wanting the love and acceptance and belonging, trying to feel a whole so that you feel whole. And it's all correlated. It's just one thing feeding off of another. You're doing one thing to get to the other, to get to the next, and backwards. And any of those three pieces, any way you flip it, they're all correlated. Somewhere along the line, it became safer just to bow down and conform than to blaze your own trail and stand up for yourself. I watched this documentary and it was fascinating to me. The woman stayed with her abuser. In fact, it was about women who stayed with their abusers. And I was actually floored. The woman was eventually killed by her abuser, and that particular woman had seen abuse her entire life. And I think subconsciously she felt it was normal. Everyone, police officers, a father figure in her life, everyone tried to save her, tried to get her to leave the situation, even going as far as the father figure in her life getting shot by her abuser. Like he was trying to save her and the abuser shot him. And many people judged her and asked the lame questions of where was her gumption, where was her tenacity, where was her self confidence, where was her self worth. And it wasn't about money because she was rich. She was a recording artist and, was making her way up the ladder. So money and means wasn't an issue. She was seeking love. And on a core level, she needed someone to love her. And she would do anything to have that dominant love. And the man acting as the father figure, who was actually producing her music, he obviously couldn't provide that for her. She wanted it from a partner. And she needed it to come from that place. That was where she wanted it to come from. And the man that was abusing her, he would abuse her and then inevitably apologize and say he'd never do it again. And it was just this vicious cycle, which it often is. And the question I ask is, what about this situation was so familiar? And it was she needed this love, but she had yet to find it within herself. She didn't have the confidence and the self-worth and the gumption, but not in the way that she's so pathetic and she should have known better. She literally was addicted to that love. She wanted that love that this abuser was giving her, and she only knew it from that way, like the people in her life, and she'd seen this abuse over and over and over again. So that became normal to her. And she was terrified to go out and seek this love from somewhere else. And a lot of women, men too, we don't talk that often about men being abused, but men are oftentimes abused also. We just don't talk about it as much. But sometimes we have to consider what's the root cause? What is at the root of what all is going on here? And it is oftentimes that we think we have this limiting belief that maybe we can't do any better or we don't deserve any better, or maybe if we stay long enough they'll change, or maybe if we keep fighting everything will turn around. I don't know that's happened to anyone. If it has, feel free to let me know, but I don't know where that staying and putting up with it over and over and over again has really proven to change anyone. And letting yourself be that human punching bag, I don't know where that has actually led to the abuse stopping. And it doesn't have to be physical abuse. It can be emotional abuse, verbal abuse, psychological abuse, gaslighting. Um, it just considers this vicious, vicious cycle. And I hear a lot of women say, and I'm going to read this to you because it's kind of this. I wouldn't say it's a poem, but it's called "They're Out There." It's not that the perfect one isn't out there. It's that you have a belief that they either don't exist or there's a scarcity. So the majority of those who think that they're only freaks out there. If you were comfortable in who you were and your standards, you will attract the men and the women who will appreciate you for exactly who you are. Someone is literally looking for you specifically where they know it, whether you know it or not. And the moral of the story is they are out there. Your perfect mate, the perfect person, not perfect in that they don't have any flaws, but someone who is more matched to you. And once you become comfortable in who you are and what you want and what you believe and know that you were worthy and to be appreciated for who you are, then you're opening yourself up to finding whatever it is you're searching for. And addicts are typically the same way. Often they're in the same boat. They're looking to their habit, their addiction to fill a hole so that they can feel whole. They hold this need to be filled with self love and confidence in their worth. And at the core knowledge, they don't think that they're enough. So they're using whatever they're addicted to make them feel like they're enough. And it's kind of this vicious cycle because you get on this cycle, you feel good, you feel great, you get a high, and then it falls off or it drops off, and then you have to go back in and do it again. So you keep getting that high, and after a while, you need more and more and more to get the same high. And I almost fell prey to my own addiction. And in place of the addiction I was giving up, I replaced it with something else. So I was seeking this sense of belonging to feel whole through a different type of addiction to mask the addiction I was trying to stop, if that makes sense. I was trying to replace addiction A with addiction B. But at the core, I just needed to remember who I was, that I was worthy and I was enough and I was wanted. The Creator wanted me here to serve the purpose that I came here to serve. I came here to teach and be of service to others. And as they stop giving away their power and believing what others negatively say about them, and stop allowing others' estimation of their total to be how they calculate their worth, then that's what I came here to help people figure out. You get to decide what you're worthy of. No one gets to decide your sum total. No one's estimation gets to be the sum total of your worth. That is not a responsibility or a privilege that anyone else gets to have. And when you are ready to stop people pleasing, doing it all, being codependent, addicted, and you're ready to live a life without apology, live from soul, and start living for yourself and not living for other people, then I would love to be the person who applauds you and cheers you on and offers that support because you deserve everything your heart desires. If it wasn't meant for you to have, it would not be nestled in your soul to create and be birthed from you. So I'm offering a free consultation. Reach out to me. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to get to have some conversation with you and give you some guidance on whatever it is that's going on in your world. This is Dr. Meredith Watson, the unapologetic therapist, the creator of the Phoenix Therapy Method. Thanks for listening. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and I will see you on the other side.